It's 3 a.m. You're lying in bed. Suddenly you remember something you said back in 2014. Your face goes hot in the dark, alone, for no reason at all. Nobody is watching, nobody is judging, and yet your body reacts like you're back in that room right now in real time. But the real reason this happens has nothing to do with how embarrassing the moment actually was. It's about a survival system that's thousands of years older than the conversation you're replaying. Why does your brain choose now, in the dark, with nothing else happening, to drag this memory back up? Psychologist Thomas Gilovich calls this the spotlight effect. He found that people consistently overestimate how much others notice their mistakes. In one of his studies, people wore an embarrassing t-shirt into a room full of strangers. Afterward, they guessed that nearly half the room had noticed the shirt. In reality, the number was closer to 1 in 4. Your brain isn't replaying what happened. It's replaying a worst-case version of what happened, one where everyone is watching and everyone remembers. So why does this hit hardest at night specifically? During the day, your brain is busy. It's flooded with tasks, conversations, decisions, noise, a constant stream of things demanding your attention. At night, that noise disappears, and your default mode network, the part of your brain responsible for self-reflection and self-evaluation, finally gets the floor. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker has shown that certain stages of sleep are when your brain consolidates emotional memories, sorting through the day and deciding what to file away and what to let go. Before that filing happens, your brain runs the footage one more time, almost like a final review before storage. It isn't punishing you, it's processing you. Here's the part that feels strange. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger scanned the brains of people experiencing social rejection. The same regions that light up during physical pain, particularly the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, also lit up during social pain. Embarrassment isn't just a feeling. To your nervous system, it registers like an actual injury, something that needs attention and resolution. And for most of human history, that reaction made complete sense. You didn't live alone. You lived in a small group of maybe 50 people, and your survival depended almost entirely on what they thought of you. If you embarrassed yourself in front of that group, it wasn't just awkward. It could mean fewer allies, less food, less protection the next time something dangerous showed up. So your brain learned to flag social mistakes as urgent threats, filed under the same system that flags a snake or a cliff edge. Anthropologists studying small-scale societies describe exactly this kind of constant social bookkeeping, where reputation functions almost like currency. A good reputation meant easier access to food, mates, and protection from the group. A damaged one could quietly follow you for years with no real way to start over somewhere new. There was no anonymous city to disappear into, no fresh start a few towns over. The group you embarrassed yourself in front of was the only group you had. The problem is, that system was built for a world of 50 people you would see again tomorrow. People whose opinion of you actually mattered for your survival. Now you might think about a stranger from a decade ago you will never see again, someone who has no bearing on your life whatsoever. But does your brain know the difference between the two? It doesn't. It still treats an old, irrelevant memory like unfinished business, something that still needs solving before it can be safely archived. That's why the moment resurfaces uninvited, right when your mind finally has nothing else to process. So is this just a glitch in the system, a wiring mistake? Not exactly. Researcher Roy Baumeister found that negative experiences are remembered more vividly, in greater detail, and for far longer than positive ones. He called it the principle that bad is stronger than good, and it shows up across nearly every area of human psychology. It isn't a flaw, it's a feature that once kept your ancestors alive, by making absolutely sure they never repeated a dangerous mistake twice. The cost of that feature thousands of years later is a rerun nobody asked for, playing at the exact moment you were hoping to fall asleep. Right now, somewhere, someone you barely think about has already completely forgotten the thing keeping you awake tonight. The room you embarrassed yourself in doesn't exist anymore, not the way you remember it. The people in it have moved on, had other nights, made their own forgettable mistakes. Your nervous system, though, is still running the original alert, unaware that the threat expired years ago. It keeps the file open just in case, because closing files early is exactly the kind of mistake that used to get people hurt. Your brain isn't broken, it's running code written for a world that no longer exists, one where every social mistake could genuinely end you. It's 3 a.m., you're still lying in bed, but the embarrassment is gone. It ended years ago. The moment passed and nobody followed you out of that room. The alarm just never got the message to switch off.